General Hospital spoilers reveals that arrival of Marshall changed Curtis's life a lot. As fans know, Marshall suddenly appeared in Port Charles and claimed to be Curtis's father. Meanwhile, Curtis learns that his father passed away from a heart attack many years ago. It seems that Marshall is hiding some very big secret. Let's see what happens between these two. Portia knows that Curtis is an extremely tough man. He will stick with his decisions and no one can change them. Still, she tries to convince him to let go of his doubts about Marshall's identity. Curtis should accept his father and get to know him more. Marshall himself knew that he had done many things wrong in the past, but now was the time to make amends for those actions. And what Marshall hopes the most is to have the opportunity to reunite with his son and build a family. But that was only from Marshall's side, and Curtis had not yet accepted this fact. He felt that Marshall's identity was still a bit suspicious, and maybe his purpose was much more complicated. There were even times when he took the initiative to mention this issue, but Marshall often answered in a sloppy manner. To be able to accept this father and start a new life with his father, Curtis hopes everything will be clear, only then he will let go of his guard. However, no matter how many times Curtis said it, Marshall still had no intention of revealing anything to him. Therefore, Curtis asked for the help of Drew, who had just returned to Port Charles to find hidden secrets, but of course that's not the whole truth. What Curtis obtained after the investigation was not enough, but with just that much information, Curtis would also meet Marshall directly to question him. Curtis knew he needed to get the formal explanation from Marshall. It looks like there will be a fierce confrontation between Marshall and Curtis. Marshall's open-minded attitude made it impossible for Curtis to accept and make a final decision. Curtis wants everything to be clear, but Marshall refuses to confess the whole thing. That is why he will warn Marshall that there will be no second chance if he continues to hide now. Curtis felt himself as a joke. If Marshall is really his father, then why did the past time go away and do nothing but be with him? His attitude angered Curtis even more and demanded that he explain clearly. Not that Curtis wanted to make it difficult for Marshall, he is ready to welcome his father again if he opens his heart to me as well. But Marshall does not want to share, so the relationship of the two is likely to be interrupted. Curtis will not tolerate this ambiguity for long. He asked for an exact answer from Marshall, but it was not answered. Curtis decided to sever this relationship because it was the only option. That means the two will never see each other again from now on. Marshall didn't want this to happen. Curtis thought his father had died of a heart attack, but now he's back in town. So both Curtis's mother and his Aunt Stella lied to Curtis. It seems that Marshall's identity and job is not simple at all. Even his existence must be concealed, so maybe Marshall has something to do with this underworld. Will Marshall realize that the only way for him to reunite with his son is to confess the whole truth? What is so difficult about Marshall that he can't tell the truth? When he didn't know the truth, Curtis demanded to sever his relationship with Marshall, but when he knew it, there were some things that made him unacceptable. Obviously, Curtis is not satisfied with the results he got. How will he handle it? Things in Marshall's past could anger Curtis, but it was you who asked for the truth just now. Can Curtis forgive Marshall or not?